In this lecture, we will learn about writing and reading settings. For these two settings, I am using the free WordPress.com site, as these settings are also kind of same with default WordPress installation. Click on Writing. Here some fields are provided by WordPress.com site, but we will be mainly interested in the default post category and default post format field. In the categories lecture you learned that every WordPress post must have a category. If you do not provide any category on the post, the default one will be assigned to it. Default post category is uncategorized and you can change from this drop-down. This drop-down will list all the categories in the site. Select the one you want to set as default. Default post format is standard, but there are other post formats available, and that can become handy if your site is not a traditional text-heavy site. For example, you may publish photo galleries regularly, and that is your main post type. So you can choose gallery as default post format. Now click Save Changes, and when the settings are saved, let's add a new post. Notice this new post screen is a bit different from the one we saw earlier. It has a gallery block in the content area. This gallery block is added by default as we had set default post type as gallery. You are not always bound to use gallery post type, just because you set it in the writing settings. You can switch to standard post format in the drop-down here if you need to. So when you publish this post, it will use the standard post format to display the post. These writing settings you just saw are basically a way to save some clicks to make your editing experience smoother. Now let's move to reading settings, which are more interesting than those writing settings. Our main focus on the reading settings is your homepage display settings. Here you can choose what type of content will appear on the site homepage. Let's see what is in the homepage currently. It is a custom homepage design with a hero image with some texts and teaser from the latest 3 blog posts. Let's change homepage displays from static page to latest posts radio button. Now the homepage is showing blog posts one after another. Let's experiment a bit more to understand these settings by selecting another page, Contact. For the Posts page, I select the blog. After saving those changes, this is the home page now. It is showing contents from the Contact page. If I navigate to the Contact page from the navigation menu, nothing changes as the Contact page is the home page. Let's change the home page from the Contact page. Now the home page has changed to an old one, and if I navigate to the Contact page, it is showing in its own design. It has got its own contact URL back. If I visit the blog URL, we can see the blog posts one after another. How many posts that blog URL will show depends on how you configure the input field at the top. Blogs pages show at most. Default value is to show 10 posts, but you can adjust if you feel so. With all these learning about settings, let's jump to the next lecture.